Yeah. Hey, it's Mel, and I am here reading my instant bestseller, The High Five Habit. We are now, for the second week in a row, New York Times bestseller. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. Get yourself a copy of this puppy. But I wanted to tell you quickly about something crazy that's happening. So if you're going through something right now in your life that's really stressful, or you're on pins and needles waiting to hear about something, okay, I have got a story to tell you. We literally were about to go live, and we were holding this place card saying Mel's about to go live, and my daughter panic texts me and starts calling like crazy because she and her friends are trying to rent an apartment in Boston post college. And I don't know what the rental market is like where you live, but here in the Boston, Massachusetts area, holy smokes. In some neighborhoods, there are lines out the door for open houses. You only have 12 hours to get an application in. So high stress, high stress, high stress. So as we were about to go live with you, I find out that we still need to get a photo of a check-in. And so we're scrambling. And now, the good news is the application is in. I have written a letter. In the realtor business, they call it a love letter, where you write a letter to either the property owner or the person you want to buy the house from, explaining all the reasons why you would be the perfect person for them to either sell or rent the property to. I do believe this is the right 5-bedroom unit for my daughter and her friends. And I feel like, and I'm sure you feel this way too, after COVID imploded the last 2 years of their entire college experience, these girls deserve and need a win. And that it's time for life to swing in their direction. So what do you do when you're in that moment of waiting? What do you do when the stakes are really high? And, can any of you relate to this right now? That there's something that you are waiting to hear from, whether it's a job that you've applied for, or you're looking for a house and the market is so tight, and every time you go to rent something or want to buy something, somebody else has jumped in. I see tons and tons and tons of hearts going. Maybe it is that you've put a dating profile up for the first time in a long time, and you're kind of waiting for something to happen. What do you do in those moments? Okay. Well, here's what, and I see so many of you saying 1,000%, I can relate, I can relate, I can totally relate. What is it that you are kind of waiting on? What is it that you are feeling like, my gosh, I just want this thing to come true. I just wish, please, 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 please. What are you waiting on? Because I can see so many of you say, yeah, this is me right now. Holy cow. When is a house that's in my budget going to come on the market? When is the right job going to happen? So I see Wendy, who's a realtor in Chicago, saying, it's a crazy market. So many clients are disappointed. I feel their pain with them. I'm waiting for my marriage to turn around. I'm waiting for to get pregnant. I'm waiting, for this school to accept me, to get in off the wait list. So here's what I want you to know. Number one, you want to focus on what's in your control, okay? That's what you want to do. If you're going through a divorce, you're waiting for lawyers. And this process of anticipation, this process of having to be patient, the first thing that you need to do is ask yourself, and this is, by the way, stuff that I talk about in the High Five Habit book. This is about how to cultivate a high five attitude when things are out of your control, how to cultivate a high five attitude when you are waiting and are feeling this anticipation, how to cultivate a high five attitude when you might be disappointed. I mean, you're not going to have everything be a win in life. And so rule number one, you want to put 150% effort in on something that you care about. Okay. So if you are sitting here and you're waiting to hear back on something, or you're waiting to do something, you want to ask yourself, have I put 150% in? One of the reasons why I just fired off literally a 3-page detailed email to this landlord, basically saying these girls need a win. They all have jobs, after working internships, their senior year. They are respectful. They're not looking at your house like a frat house, like so many other people will. They need individual rooms in case they have to work remote. Like I went boom, 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 boom. They're looking for a home. Why did I do that? Because I think it's really important when you are trying to make something happen in your life, really important when you're going for something, that you can personally say to yourself, I have done 150%. I have gone all in. Okay. And so I feel like, yeah, we went all in. We got our application in, we got the check submitted, we got the love letter submitted. And now what I do when I'm waiting is I literally say, I've put in 150%. I can give myself that high five. I can look the woman in the mirror and I can say, I know I did everything that I could. What will eat you alive, everybody, is if you're waiting and you know that you didn't put 150% in. It will eat you alive to be waiting to hear back on a job or on some test result or on an application to a program or a school, and to know that you didn't put in 150%, that's what's going to cause the disappointment. You see, my daughter and I can now turn our attention away from the frenzy of whether or not the apartment's going to happen, because we can now say we did everything we could. And if it doesn't happen, it wasn't meant to happen. See, that's the genius of putting in the hard work, everybody. When you put in the hard work, you can say with an integrity and even believe it that, hey, if this place doesn't work out, it's because something amazing is coming that hasn't happened yet. And we lost this apartment, even though that stinks, but we lost it having put 150% in. And now I can have the faith, because I'm putting in all the work, that eventually it will work out. This is so important, everybody. I see somebody, it's so interesting, people saying, I'm trying to buy my first rental house. I'm trying to get into a nursing program. I'm trying to get a dating profile up and meet somebody that's worth my time, that deserves to be with me. And here's the thing, if you don't put in 150%, there will always be something that's gnawing at you. Like, if I had written the letter, would we have gotten the rental property? If I had moved faster, would we have had that happen? And so I'm saying this because part of a high five attitude is being able to say to yourself, hey, this is preparing me for something amazing that hasn't happened yet. But that typically only works if you're putting in the work and you're showing up as your full self. Okay. I love that. So this was just like happening. And since we kind of got off to a late start today, we're only going to read part of chapter 4. For those of you that have bought the High Five Habit, thank you for purchasing the book. I also love, love, love the fact that so many of you are starting to buy the High Five Habit for your teammates at work, for the people that you lead, for family members, for friends who are going through a rough time. It's super, super, super cool to see you sending people high fives, because one of the big things that I get asked all the time is I get asked, how can I help my spouse change? How can I lift my daughter or son up? Hey, my best friend's going through a really tough time, lost their spouse, they're grieving. How do I help them? Well, the answer is there's only so much you can do for somebody else. The best thing that you could do for somebody that you love, somebody that's struggling, is give them a copy of the High Five Habit, because the High Five Habit will give them the research, the tools, the stories, everything that they need to learn how to lift themselves up. Because at the end of the day, you can't do that work for somebody else. You can be supportive, you can be encouraging, you can lend a helping hand. But when it comes to happiness, belief in self, courage, when it comes to feeling energized in your life, that stuff's an inside job. When it comes to rebuilding your self-worth, when it comes to feeling validated as a human being, you got to learn how to do that for yourself. That's why the High Five Habit is so powerful. Powerful. So we're on page 47 today. I'm reading the book for free, page by page on social media until we get through it. Because I want to make sure the tools in this book are accessible to everybody. That's why I'm doing this. And so if you can afford to buy a book, thank you so much for purchasing a copy of the book. If you love the audiobook, I'm telling you, you still want to get a copy of this because you're going to want to highlight it. You're going to want to come back to it. Need a drink of water. Woo, moving a million miles an hour here. That is super, super, super important that you have this as something you can study and come back to. All right, here we go. And thank you everybody who's saying, I'm going to get the book, I'm going to get the book, I'm going to get the book, I'm going to get the book. Excellent. You can buy it anywhere books are sold. So chapter 4, here we go, everybody. Why do I torture myself? While I was writing this book, I received this text from one of our daughters. Oh, I wonder which one. The one that I'm doing the rental agreement with. How do I not feel like the ugliest girl at the bar every time I go out? Honest to goodness, everybody, I got that text while I was writing this book in late 2020 from our oldest daughter, who is 22 years old. How do I not feel like the ugliest girl at the bar every time I go out? It's the kind of text that breaks your heart because you know there isn't a damn thing you can say to change how she feels about herself at this moment in her life. Believe me, I've tried. I can tell her all the reasons why she's beautiful inside and out. I can remind her of her incredible character attributes. I can list her achievements and gush about her sense of humor, her wisdom, her work ethic. I can compliment her for being a trusted, loving, and respected sister, friend, and colleague. I can tell my daughter all the cheesy things that authors, motivational speakers, and mothers say to somebody they love who is single and who feels discouraged. Honey, you just haven't met someone who deserves someone as fantastic as you yet, but you will. But here's the thing, everybody. It doesn't matter what I think, because this text isn't about me. This text shows you the relationship our daughter has with herself at this moment in her life, how she sees herself, the world around her, and how she fits into it. And I'm sure you've experienced this same dynamic with someone you love. You see how amazing they are and gush about their talents, their attributes, and even their appearance. You try to convince them with facts. That's not true. You do have friends. You are beautiful. You do have so much to offer. How many of you can relate to this? There's somebody in your life that you love. You see all the amazing things about them. You don't understand why they beat themselves up so much. You don't understand why they're so hard on them because you see all the good. You see the positive. And no matter what you say, it doesn't change how they feel about their appearance or their looks or whether or not they're going to meet somebody that's worthy of them or what happened at their last job, right? Like you have somebody in your life that you are trying to lift up, but nothing you say makes a difference. Because no matter what you say or what evidence you use, it doesn't change what someone believes about themselves. I'm going to say that again. No matter what you say or what evidence you use, it cannot and does not change what someone believes about themselves. I'm going to stop and say something. You know, I see a bunch of you going, oh my gosh, I have 2 daughters that say the same thing. I have 2 daughters that really want, I love, that you're saying this, that you're seeing this. Everybody's asking, I see a ton of people asking, how do I get the high five habit if I don't live in the United States? Well, I know Waterstones carries it in Europe. And I know if there's Amazon in your country that you can get it in English on Amazon around the world right now and in bookstores around the world right now because we have global distribution. And it is coming out in 23 languages. Farsi is coming in November. Spanish is coming in a matter of a week or 2. So absolutely, positively, you can find it. And the book is about learning how to love yourself. The book is about changing your relationship with yourself. The book is about self-confidence, self-worth, self-validation. And I see all these parents going, I have a teenager who says this. How do I not feel like the ugliest girl at the bar every time I go out? How do I not feel like the biggest one of my friends? Why am I the ugliest, the tallest, the this or that? By the way, I am literally telling you this story because this is also you. There are ways in which you're beating yourself up that are factually inaccurate, and that other people who love you are trying to lift you up, and you won't even hear it. You're so committed to believing that you're the ugliest or the stupidest or the baddest or the least successful or whatever dumb stuff you actually say about yourself that's not true. And you know, it doesn't matter what other people say. Come on, Mel, you're not a bad person. I love you. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, because again, this is not about what other people think about you. It's about what you think about yourself, everybody. That's what this book is about. You see, when you try to lift up somebody that you love, why doesn't everybody in the comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or in Instagram, why don't you write in the comments, who's the person that you're trying to lift up and they can't hear it? So that you start to understand the dynamic I'm talking about, because this is the same stuff that you're doing to yourself. And oftentimes we see it in other people, right? So, you know, somebody can hear, my daughter can hear that I think that she's amazing, and it might make her feel better in the moment. But here's the thing. Her brain basically rejects what I'm telling her because she's told herself so many times that she sucks over the years, and she's compiled so much evidence that it's true, that this belief, I'm the ugliest of all my friends, is now programmed into her subconscious mind. I see so many of you saying, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is me. What is the belief that you have programmed into your subconscious mind? Let's now flip it. You're seeing it with your son. You're seeing it with your daughter who's stuck. You're seeing it with your parents. You're seeing it with the people you hang out with. You're seeing it with the clients that you're trying to help in your therapy practices and your coaching practices. You're seeing it with your ex who undervalues herself. You're seeing how your daughters say, I'm stupid, I'm no good, I'm this, I'm worthless. You see it with your brother. Now let's flip it to yourself, right? What is it that you say to yourself? I believe that I'm a burden because of my illness. What do you say to yourself? I can't trust myself. What do you say to yourself, everybody? I'll never get over my anxiety. I'll never complete anything. I'm broken because I'm always making mistakes. This is what we're going to attack in chapter 4, 5, and 6 in this book. We are going to punch that crap in the face, everybody. That I'm not good enough. I'm a bad person. I've done horrible things, so I'm a horrible person. I'm never going to be consistent. I'm not a good parent. This is all horseshit that you're telling yourself. I screw everything up. Ooh, I got that one too. I got that one too. You see, when you tell yourself that you're a bad person, or that you're always going to be a failure, or you're never going to amount to anything, when you keep repeating that crap in your mind, it gets programmed into this part of your brain. And this is why, by the way, it doesn't matter what somebody says to you. Because if you think that you're a bad person, or you think you're going to be a screw up, if somebody tries to lift you up, you're like, just get out of here. I know who I am, and I am literally a loser who's never going to amount to anything. Don't you dare try to lift me up. That's kind of how our daughter relates to me when I try to lift her up. They will even, you ever notice when you try to lift up your son or your daughter or your spouse or your friend or your parents or the people you coach or your therapy clients, they argue with you when you tell them how great you think you are. They are. See, one of the most important revelations you could ever have is that your life and your happiness begins and ends inside your own mind. Let's say that again. One of the most important revelations you can ever have is that your life and your happiness begins and ends inside your own mind. What you say to yourself, how you treat yourself, and the thoughts that run on repeat are everything. It does not matter how successful, thin, famous, muscular, or wealthy you become. If you focus on what's wrong with you, you will never be happy and you will never change, period. If you think there's something wrong with you, and no, this is not don't worry, be happy. We're talking brain science here, everybody. We're talking about taking all of that subconscious programming where you beat yourself up and reprogramming your mind to be more positive, more optimistic, more celebratory, more encouraging. That's what the high five habit is about. This is not toxic positivity. This is how you use science to literally take that crap you've been saying to yourself for years that makes you feel broken and recognize, wait a minute, I'm not broken. I have these patterns of thinking that are so broken for where I want to go. So I need to punch them with a high five right out of my brain. And I need to start to program with a high five, encouraging, supportive, loving, validating, and worthy thoughts. That's what we're doing here. We are taking neural association in your brain with a high five and marrying it with your identity. How freaking cool is that? Because if you think there's something wrong with you, the idea of high-fiving yourself, by the way, probably feels a little dumb or stupid or cheesy. And let me tell you why. If you think there's something wrong with you, you probably also think you don't deserve a high five because you haven't done anything worthy of a high five. You also think, well, I don't get a high five until I fixed the thing that's wrong with me. When I lose the weight, I'll high five myself. When I get the job, I'll high five myself. When the divorce is final, I'll high five myself. When I finally meet somebody and fall in love, I'll high five myself. When I get out of debt, I'll high five myself. By withholding all of this, by the way, from yourself right now, this is why you don't feel motivated. I think that what you're going to see in the next year is I think you're going to see 50,000 books come out that are all talking about what I'm talking about. Gary Vaynerchuk's new book is all about kindness, by the way, and all about supporting yourself. Will Smith's new book that's coming out, the whole thing is about your emotions and supporting yourself and being kind to yourself. The high five habit doesn't talk about it. It teaches you how to do it. This is going to be the big theme of 2022. I'm telling you right now. And the high five habit is a game changer because it gives you the tool. We're not talking concepts here. We're giving you the tool to recognize that your own self-hatred, self-rejection, self-bashing is the foundational problem that you have. And the second that you break the habit of beating yourself up and you use the high five habit and the science in this book and the tools in this book to make it a habit to lift yourself up, to encourage yourself, to support yourself, to empower yourself, to see the human being in the mirror and say, I see you. I know we're not where we want to be, but we're going to keep on going. I see you. We're going to face the day. I see you. I got your back. That's what this is about, everybody. It's the how. We all know we need to be kinder. We all know we need to stop criticizing ourselves. The problem is, how the hell do you do it when it's so insidious and casual and subconscious to just well, I'll tell you how you do it. You make a commitment to yourself that you're going to stop doing it. And you're going to retrain your own mind and your own habits. And you're going to start by simply standing in front of the mirror and demonstrating with a high five every morning to the human being in the mirror that you do deserve respect. You are worth working on. You are worth loving. You are worth validating. That the fact that you're still here means that you're worthy of all these things. You're still trying. That is what makes you worthy. You don't have to go to the gym today to earn a high five. If you can drag yourself to the bathroom, you get one. Yes, I see somebody saying, I live with a narcissist. Delve into the topic. I'll tell you, if you actually live with a diagnosed narcissist, there is no cure for narcissism. And the world's leading expert on narcissism, Dr. Ramani, will tell you, as the world's leading expert, that because narcissists are made during childhood by either neglect or overindulgence, and it is a wiring issue in the brain that has somebody be incapable of feeling empathy, the high five habit for you is foundational and essential, because that person who has narcissistic personality disorder will never be able to validate you, will never be able to make you feel worthy, will never be able to give you the support emotionally that you need, because neurologically, developmentally, they are not able physiologically, neurologically to do it. And it's not your job to heal them. And by the way, you can't. And so hopefully high-fiving yourself in the mirror and building up your own self-worth is going to be the thing that makes you realize you are worthy of different treatment. You deserve to be in a healthy relationship. If you're already typing that you are in a relationship with a narcissist, then you know it's not working. What you now need to do is rebuild up the self-worth and the self-love and the self-esteem that the narcissist is probably taking away from you, so that you can look yourself in the mirror and say, I actually am not going to stay in this relationship. If they, we all have narcissistic tendencies. That's not what you're talking about. If you're talking about somebody who is truly diagnosed with narcissism, the high five habit will help you rebuild up your self-worth and your self-respect and your self-validation, so that you literally will be able to find the strength to leave the narcissist. Because part of the damage of being with somebody who's narcissistic is their personality disorder makes you start to believe there's something wrong with you. The constant gaslighting, the lack of empathy. I didn't say that. The constant focus on them makes you think you're going nuts. That's why you need the high five habit. You got a narcissist in your life, you better get this freaking book, everybody, the high five habit. You better get off this live stream and click, buy, because you better know how to start building up your own self-worth so that you can leave, okay? And it was Dr. Ramani. She's on Red Table Talk all the time. She has a huge social media following. I met her because we had her on my daytime talk show a lot. Let's see. If this is also, by the way, when your self-worth is low, when you have negative self-talk, it's also why you feel uncomfortable when people compliment you, because you don't believe it. That's why you can't accept it. That's why you're uncomfortable at your own birthday party, because you're not comfortable being the center of attention because you don't believe you're worthy of it. This is why we have got to get to the heart of rebuilding your self-esteem. This is so foundational. I think we're going to end right here. We just completed page 48. I have time for literally one more question. Let's take a quick question. You got anything good that you want me to do? Yep. Thank you. Let me see if I can find a different one. I listened to you on Saturday. We're looking to see. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, Terry is saying, I want to pay for someone's book who can't afford one. Is there a fund for that? No, there's not. But how about you just buy a book for a friend who's in need, seriously, or send it to a family member that could really use some help with their self-esteem or self-worth, or heck, I just sent the book to a really good, a very close friend of mine's daughter is having a really tough time freshman year in college. And so I just surprised her by sending her a copy of The High Five Habit, because when life is hard, you need to know how to lift yourself up. When life is great, you need to know how to celebrate that stuff and keep yourself going. Let's see. I've tried a lot. Okay. Let's see. Have faith in I have tried a lot and I still am not able to have faith in my goal. Is that normal? Yeah, it's normal to not feel confident. And I'll tell you why. Life has beaten you up. And the only thing that is going to change your level of confidence in yourself, there's just two things that do it. One is seeing yourself taking action. Because when your brain sees you taking action on the things that matter to you, your brain starts to develop more respect for you because it sees you starting to prioritize yourself. That will make you feel more assured and confident, your own actions of working on the goal. But the bigger thing that's going to help you feel more confident as you work toward your goals and your huge dreams, everybody, is send yourself into the day by looking in the mirror at yourself and giving yourself a high five. Just like a teammate would send you into the biggest game of your life or back into the play, you would high five yourself and send yourself into the day. And it builds momentum. It gives you dopamine. It gives your nervous system a little celebratory jolt. These things are so important and you need it. Because when your brain starts to see you demonstrating with the high five that you do see yourself, you do believe in yourself, you do celebrate yourself, neurologically, chemically, physiologically, you start to change. That's why this is so powerful, everybody. So powerful. I think that's it. We will be live tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go earlier than normal because we've got a huge 3-hour class that I'm teaching with my friend Brendan Bouchard and a bunch of other friends. For those of you that were in the High Five Challenge and have opted in to joining us on Growth Day, we're teaching a 3-hour class called Design Your Future. That is all about the step-by-step guide to designing your future. I have so many things coming up for you. I'm super, super excited. Ooh, I love that folks are donating a few copies of this to their local library. That's super cool. I love seeing that you guys are buying a copy of the book for people in your life that need a boost of self-esteem, that need to feel encouraged, that need to feel energized, that need their confidence lifted up. This is so amazing that you're doing that, everybody. And yeah, you can watch these lives after they're posted. They just are stored on every single platform you're watching it on. For Instagram, you can just go to our IGTV section and it's in the High Five Habits folder. But everybody, please, please, please get your friends, get yourself a copy of the High Five Habit. This book is life-changing. And that's all I need to say. And you know it because you see people's comments. This is a how book. This is not a concept book. This is not a why book. This is not intellectual. This is a deeply moving book all about how you build your self-esteem, how you build your self-worth, how you build your confidence, how you lift yourself up, how you improve the relationship with yourself, and most importantly, how you learn how to believe in yourself again. All right, you know that I'm here because I believe in you and I love you. Now it's your turn to go believe in yourself too. High five, everybody. Boop. Download video.